forward. Perfect. Okay, you guys, we are so freaking excited for this topic. Courtney and I have talked about a lot of things lately, but one thing that we wanted to help you guys with is to take ownership of your own business. So these are 10 steps to taking ownership to your own business. We learned these from another coach training, so you know that we're coming at you with some big stuff tonight. So we also hear over and over again, especially this time of year, as it's getting into the holiday seasons and things, we are trying to nip in the butt anytime we hear the words, I'm in a funk. So we want you guys to get out of that mindset of this time of year is hard or this is going to be hard, and focus on what you can control. There's going to be super high highs and there's going to be super low lows in this business. You guys know that if you've been around for even just a little bit. You know that this business ebbs and flows, and there's going to be times when you're celebrating something awesome, and there's going to be times when you're like, oh shit, this coach just canceled or whatever.
I want
Yeah. It's the same with everyday life though, you guys. Like there's going to be high highs and there's going to be low lows. So put it in that perspective, and don't let if you're serious about this business, don't let this business take a back burner or be the first thing to go when you are having a low low. Okay. So your belief in finding success as a business owner and you thinking Beachbody is a great opportunity are two completely different things. You have to truly believe that this is a business that's going to change your life and change other people's lives, and you have to breathe that confidence into your followers, into the people you're having conversations with, your challengers, and your coaches. And it has to be more than just, oh, it's something I do on the side. Oh, it's a side business. Oh, it's just a hobby. It has to be something more than that, or you're not going to be super successful with this. You can be successful, but it's not going to be something that you do in the long run or that you potentially take full time with it ever. So that being said, I did want to say, she mentioned this training, she mentioned there's nothing special about me and Courtney. Like the only thing that differs between our success is that we believe hardcore that in ourselves, and we've made it past that trust building phase, and we've taken a whole lot of action to get us to where we are now. So how to actually take ownership of your business. Number one is need versus want. So these are going to be 10 steps. I'll go through the number and then Court will kind of follow up on each one. Okay, so number one is need versus want. You have to, again, a lot of this is going to be like they kind of roll off of each other too. So you have to believe that this is something that you need in your life, and it has to be something that you need in your life and others' lives. Need what it's doing to your health, need what it's doing to your fulfillment, your leadership, your finances. You have to need it versus want it. Her example that she used was, you have to pretend like your house is on fire. If you walk into your house and it's on fire, you're going to be like, holy shit, I got to grab everything and, take care. I got to take care of this right now. And if you walk into your house and, there's a leak or the water's casually running, you're going to be like, oh, it's fine. Like, I got a little bit of time to work on myself or work on my goals or whatever that analogy you want to use is. You have to believe that your house is on fire and that you need to do anything you can in this business to put that fire out, and that's taking actionable steps. And you guys know what those are, the vitals. Excuse me. I used to post, I made a note here that I made an example about, a year ago. I made a post that said, I didn't need this business. I didn't need the money. I didn't need the health. I am in pretty good shape. I didn't need the community because I have really good girlfriends. And that right there is not belief in the business. That was me saying, I didn't need this. I was a hobby coach, and I still was at the time. And that is not something that was going to get me business builders or, again, help me be super successful in the long run. It was something that I was using as a cover up for a really long time of, I don't need this. Like, I'm good without it. But if it's something that you need, you're going to be super successful. Court, you want to touch on that?
Like, this is your job. So, like, if you don't take this job seriously, like, who else is going to take this job seriously? I know Court kind of talked about, like, how we call it our side gig. And I used to never talk about my business to my family, to my friends. I didn't like talking about it to Antone. And guess what? They thought it was nothing else either, because I acted like it was nothing. The minute I acted like my coaching business was truly mine and took ownership of it, and I said, hey, I can't make that tonight because I have a team call, or we're getting together with the team to work on this, that's when people started taking me seriously. And that's when people started to notice, not only my family, my friends at Antone, but my audience. Like, my followers knew that I was taking it seriously, and that's when my business started to elevate.
Exactly. And that kind of rolls into step number 2, which is taking full ownership of everything that happens in your business, whether that's good things or bad things that happen. You have to take full ownership and something that you did that is actionable to that, whatever we're talking about that just happened. So you have to take full ownership, whether that is getting no, or whether that's you're not hitting high success club numbers, or you're getting invites out. Those are types of scenarios or examples that relate to you taking ownership to your actions in this business. So everything you do is related to your actions. That's really all the note that I had on that one.
Yeah, if you don't take ownership of your business, your house is going to burn down. That's it.
Exactly. Okay, number 3 is be a mentor first and then be a friend. So I know that this is kind of difficult because we all kind of know each other from being, from the same town, or went to college together or whatever. Most of us have known each other before we became coaches in some way. And so it's hard to take away that friendship first and become a mentor to your coaches or a mentee to your coach. So that is a huge thing to take note of, is that you have to teach them how to do things before you can become that bestie coach together. And before you can run together, you have to teach and be duplicatable in your actions.
Yeah, one thing I was going to touch on, something like, there's always shitty things happening in our life, right? There's shitty things going on in our coaches' lives, and we always want to console them. It's like our inner womanhood. We just want to console everybody. But honestly, it's not our job to console them and be a friend at this point. Like, right now, they're in a shitty point in their life, and this business is what's going to help them. So we need to help them see success in their business to get them past that point and get them out of, like, basically that shit hole. If you go around patting everybody on the back, nobody actually gets anything done from that. You're not truly helping them move forward. You're just saying, oh my gosh, I feel sorry for you too. And nothing gets accomplished with that. They chose you to be their mentor, so be their mentor, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, and that being said, just one more little note on that is, like, they don't want you to sugarcoat things. Like, be real with your coaches and be real with the coaches underneath you and be real with the coaches above you. Like, if you're struggling or if something's happening, tell them and tell us, and just be real. I mean, it's as simple as that. Just like you want to be real for your followers and be authentic and in your social media and show up, you want that as well for your coaches, and them coming to you saying, I'm struggling, and you saying, oh, you got this, keep going, is not helpful. It's you definitely want to give them something to work with, for sure. Okay, number 4 is keep every promise you make to yourself. So I usually at the beginning of each month, you guys probably set some sort of goal for yourself. You know, each day I tell myself I'm getting 20 invites out a day. If I don't keep that promise to myself, it seriously like eats me alive all day long. So I try to do it first thing in the morning because all day long I'm like, I have to invite, I have to invite, I have to invite, I have to get 20 invites out. And I don't go to bed without doing it. Keep those promises to yourself. You have goals this month. What are they? Are they Success Club goals? Are they the amount of people you want to help this month? Is it the time you want to work out every single morning? Are you, did you tell yourself, I'm working out every morning before work? Keep those promises to yourself. If you have to, tell your followers or tell social media so that you're even more held accountable to those goals. Have you been setting personal development goals that you want to get 15, 20 minutes a day and keep those promises? And if you get to, the goal, so say like you want to get Success Club 10 by the 10th, if you get to that goal and it gets to that date and you're not at that goal, do an audit. Say, what am I doing that's maybe not getting me to that goal? Her example was using Steve Jobs. He sat in his garage or basement, or whatever, for 10 years working on the exact same computer. Do you think that when he said, okay, I'm going to tell 10 new people today about this product, do you think he was like, oh man, I told 2 people about it. I think that's probably good. No, Steve Jobs is probably like, I'm going to tell 10 people, but actually I'm really going to tell 100. So just think of it like that. Like, do you think that these people who worked their asses off for years and years and years settled for anything less than the goals that they set for themselves? No.
A note that I took from that call is they said every time you break a promise to yourself, a piece of you goes out the window. So that moment you decide whether it's something simple as invites, that moment you decide to break that promise of invites, all of a sudden you start feeling unworthy. All of a sudden your self worth starts crumbling and you find excuses. And then before you know it, you're reaching out to your coach Courtney and you're like, I'm stuck, I'm in a funk. And all of those things become your shortcomings, and instead of making them happen for your business. So like Courtney said, the example of Steve Jobs, like he was never just like, oh man, 2 people said no for me. Like, no, he took the emotion out of it and he kept pushing forward. So you say you're gonna do something, then do it. If it's something as simple as working out, then you better freaking get your workout in that first meeting, right? The moment you stop, you break those promises to yourself, everything else falls with it.
Exactly. Okay, number 5 is communicate with your leaders. So if you have leaders on your team, or if you're considered a leader, one of the leaders, which if you're on this call, you're a leader, on our teams, then just communicate with them. Tell them their role. Tell them how they can step up as a member of their team. And this is something that Courtney and I are definitely working on as well to help you guys, create more leadership out of yourselves. Create the atmosphere that you want. When we ask you to go live on a page or to, do a post in our team page for some reason, that's because we see potential in you as a leader. That's because we aren't like trying to embarrass you by going live, and we're not trying to make you do things that are uncomfortable to you for no reason. It's just so that we can help you break out of your comfort zone, and because we do see potential in you and see bigger and better things for you. Anything to add, Court?
I was just gonna say, like, you going live isn't to help me or isn't just to help our team, but it's truly to help you see growth as a leader, to help you step up and elevate yourself and your team.
For sure. So yeah, like keep that in mind when you have leaders coming up on your teams. Like, be sure to tell them, like, hey, I appreciate everything every time you check into the team page. Like, that is awesome. Even if it's just a like or something, that's better than nothing. But make sure to be telling them, like, hey, thanks for that. I mean, it doesn't have to be every day, but you know what I mean. Okay, number 6 is lead your team, don't micromanage. So this is kind of hard for me too. The girl who was doing the training was like, I am such a micromanager, and I feel like I sometimes am too, because I'm like, I want it done a certain way. But you have to just create leaders. This is your own business, so eventually you guys have to be doing it your own way. You just have to set attainable goals. Like, so here's an example. So I love to be like, okay, I see the potential in you, and I think you can be diamond or emerald. I think you can be diamond in 30 days. Or I could say, I think you could be emerald in 24 hours. And really, no one is going to do something that they don't think that they can attain themselves. So you're going to want to help your leaders make attainable goals that they personally think they can believe. And this is something that I constantly am working on, because I can see, potential all day long, but someone has to want and believe that in themselves before they will actually reach and go for those goals.
Yeah, one of the quotes I will always take from Summit is, you cannot want something more for somebody else than they want for themselves. Like, I can see the potential in somebody and be like, they're going to hit diamond next month. But like, if they don't truly want diamond, like, that doesn't matter what potential I see in them. And something I'm so guilty of, it's like, I always think, and not like I necessarily want to be a micromanager, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to give these people what it takes to succeed. So like, if I give them this list and they do this, and then we check back in and they do this list, like, then they're going to see success. But really, all I'm doing for people is like, here's a crutch. Here's a crutch. Here, lean on me. Here's a crutch. Instead of letting them take ownership of their business and doing those things and figuring it out on their own. They always say, if you want to build CEOs in a business, you have to let them spread their wings and take ownership. So if you are constantly just creating little minions, your team is never going to grow. And those people are never going to take ownership of their own business.
Yeah,
I'm guilty of giving people those crutches. And I think back, like, me and Courtney were talking, like, man, when we first became coaches, like, Megan is like a bomb ass fucking mentor. She's freaking amazing. But when I think back to what she did for me, she made me an independent coach. Like, that's what she did. It was never like, do this checklist and get back to me. She made me super independent as of, creating a business and doing it myself. So.
And like, that being said, people in this business don't have uplines. There's, people, you guys, I'm sure, have all heard of Lauren Blackledge, who hangs around our team. She doesn't have an upline. All of her success in this business is based off of her Googling and YouTubing things. Literally, the reason that I listened to this YouTube training was because Lauren found it on someone else's team call. So that being said, it's not like act like you don't have an upline, but because you always have us, you can always come to us. It's not like we're saying, please stop messaging us. We want you guys to message us. We want you guys to know that we're here, but also that you can spread your wings and fly, and that you can find answers on your own. For sure. Okay, number 7 is get rid of your emotions. So I love this one. Because as this business is primarily made up of women, and that's one thing that we're really not great at, is letting go of our emotions. That's why a lot of men are CEOs, unfortunately, or women that are CEOs act like men. They don't really care for other people's feelings. I did write down a personal opinion is, keep the emotions in your relationships with your challengers. If you want to still feel for them and be passionate, and it's kind of a fine line. So you want to be passionate about them, but you also, on the flip side of things, take out the emotion from your business. When you're doing the vitals, when you're inviting, if you get no, are you like, oh my God, I got my 3rd no in a row, that's the end of the world? No, like, you shouldn't. You should just say, all right, bless and release, and on to the next, honestly, because you're going to get so many no's in this business, and it is really not for everyone. Nobody is going to be Yeah, that's what I was going to do. Nobody is going to be fully invested. Sorry, Court. And someone that is so up and down like this, nobody is going to be fully invested in that if they see you on your social media and one day you're like, oh my God, this business is amazing. And then the next day you're like, it's the worst day ever. Like, obviously you want to be real and, tell your life. But if you're in the business and then out of the business, not consistent, super consistent.
Your followers literally see everything. If they see you being inconsistent and like taking a break and not showing up, and then you're back in, and then you take a break, it's like that would be hard for me to be like, okay, I want to join this person because all I see is this. And so take those emotions out. Leave those emotions for connecting with people, like those people you want to connect with, that you share similar interests with. Like, that's okay keeping the emotions in. But when somebody tells you no, don't let that affect your business. Because Courtney and I have been coaching for 3 years now. If I could give you a list of all of the no's, oh my gosh, guys, it would be so freaking embarrassing compared to the list of yeses. But it happens. And sometimes those no's made it back on the yes list. So don't get tied up and caught on those no's.
Yeah, exactly. So the things that you want to focus on are income producing activities, your own growth, leadership, accountability, support, mentorship. Those are your focuses, not, oh, what's happening to my business today? Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so shitty. Like, oh my gosh, this and oh my gosh, that. Like, no, that kind of stuff needs to not be in your business. Number 8 is embrace the struggles as a leader. So I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys, people are going to quit on you. It happens to everyone. The first time is definitely the hardest, but people are going to just quit without telling you. People might just tell you and give you a reason that you're like, what the hell? But people are going to quit on you. Use that as experience. So when you have that kind of experience, or you have someone that's talking negatively about you or something like that, then use that to help your coaches later down the road and say, this is how I handled this. And you can obviously handle it your own way, but this is how I did that.
Yeah. Instead of letting it be a downfall or a pity party, just be like, hey, thank you. Like, this is a learning curve for me. And when this happens to one of my coaches, I'll be there to help you out. Like, don't get into a pity party by yourself. It's always going to feel like a weird breakup, but use it as a learning curve and move on.
Yeah, so not only do you want to embrace the struggles, but you also want to show the struggles. So show the hard work. This is how you're truly, truly, truly going to get business builders. If you are showing people what you do daily, show people that it is, be truthful about your hard work and be truthful about your circumstances surrounding coaching. Is your coach money really helping what you're saying it is? Is your are you really eating as great as you say you are, or are you showing that you splurge on ice cream and pizza sometimes? Like, people want to see the real side of things. So be
all of the fun trips and the freedom and like all of the highlight reel, people are going to be like, this is a scam. Like, if you're not truly showing the ups and downs, like not in a weird roller coaster emotional way, but like just be real with the business, and show people like, there's learning curves for you too. It's not all just right up here and taking free trips everywhere.
Exactly. Number 9 is hold people accountable to their own promises. So this kind of goes along the same lines as don't micromanage, but it's a little bit more towards encourage them to have goals. So we always encourage you guys to have monthly goals, encourage you guys to have your next rank advancement goal based on skill. But you guys really have to truly set your own goals, and then later down the road, when you guys have business building coaches, and most of you do, but when you guys have business building coaches, then help them set their own goals. Ask them, what does freedom look like to you? How many people do you want to help this month? And then hold them to it.
Yeah. They tell you they want to help 5 to 10 people and it's the 15th of the month and they're at Success Club Zero, reach out to them and be like, hey, it's the 15th and you told me you wanted to help 5 to 10, let's say they said 5 people, and you're at 0. So, like, what are we going to do about this? What business producing activities can we do to get you there? Because you don't want to end up in that funk because you're letting your SD0 define you. You want to always think, like, as a leader, what can I do to help this person? And if you're that coach in that spot, not letting those emotions get the best of you.
Exactly. And then number 10 is a pretty super simple one, but it's honestly, check your back office, y'all. Prepare for anything that happens. Usually you can go to like announcements and it'll tell you what's coming up, what things are happening in Beachbody world. So you can prepare not only on that side of things, but you can prepare for anything that's going to happen, good or bad. So if you're looking at your downline and you're like, shit, that person's going to be inactive, I need to get them either back to 50 PV or, you know, fill in that spot. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Or fill in that spot. Fill in that spot. You need to constantly be checking your back office for things like that. Checking it for volume. If you are trying to hit something on the leadership ladder, you want to be checking that volume and just all things like that. That you want to be checking your back office like it's your email every single day, and use that as your business. Like, that is the heart of your business right there. Like, you need to be checking your coach online office every single day, no matter if it's for 10 seconds to check an inactive coach or whatever, or to check your Success Club points, or spend, you know, an hour on it one day if you want. But yeah, anything to add, Court?
Okay, I'm gonna say the old stuff that was mentioned in this call that was like, oh man, holy shit. But she said, you know, if you want to be the CEO of your business and you can't even check your own back office, like, seriously, what ownership do you have with this business? That is your business. If you can't take time out to go check your business, then you're not a CEO. You know, it's your job to be the best coach, to be the best mentor, and to take ownership of your business. And if you aren't doing those things, you know, then what is it that you're here for? And she said, if you're here for community, like, that's okay. And your coach is probably going to say that's okay too. But if you aren't going to take it seriously enough to do those 3 things, as be the best coach you can be, the best mentor, taking ownership, then she was like, then holy shit, like, what are you doing here, kind of thing. So if you're not doing them now, that's okay. Draw a line, because you can start now, you can start later tonight, you can start tomorrow, a fresh day. And she said that's okay, but it's not okay to listen to everything in this training and listen to those 3 important things and not do anything about it. So that was kind of the bold, I'm gonna poop my pants moment, the video that made me nervous to say on here. But it's so true, and it's so crucial to owning up on this business. If you're not going to do the things, then why are you here? You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself that question.
Yeah, one sentence she said near the end of the training was, consistency and longevity will bring you success, and it's trust built over time. You know, but that goes beyond just posting a post on social media, or posting a few times in your stories each day and saying, all right, peace out, I posted on social media, hopefully people reach out to me. No, you have to be doing the income producing activities, which are your vitals, for the millionth time. Like, you're going to hear that on the national wake up call probably for the next 10 years or however long you're here, is how are you successful? I just do the vitals. You know, you hear that every single time, but are you truly being consistent with the vitals, not just posting on social media or just showing up in your stories, but are you truly connecting with people every single day? Are you, and you can set, I've been meaning to say this to my team, is you can set your work days, just like you work 5 days a week. You can set your work days, but make it an attainable, a goal that's going to help you be successful. If you're just like, well, my Beachbody work day is Monday. No, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that. So I try to do actually Sunday through Friday. Sometimes I work on Saturday if we're not doing anything else, but I try to really hone in on like Sunday and through Thursday, especially when it comes to inviting. I try to invite 20 people 5 days a week. So that's really my goal, and just being consistent with that, and longevity is going to bring success over time.
Yeah, and your work schedule is gonna look different than somebody else's. Like for me, I'm off on Friday, so I'll know like when I'm grinding and I want to talk about the biz. I find that's when a lot of coaches kind of not take the day off, but that's like it's not Friday, and that's like their downtime. And for me, I'm like, I gotta grind. This is my one day. You know, like I work really long hours throughout the week, and when I'm pregnant, it's like sometimes it's harder for me to power through. But I'm like, I've got Friday. Like this is my life. And so that's okay that your business hours and the way you run your business looks totally different than somebody else's. Because mine and Courtney's, the way we do things are totally, totally different, but it works for both of us. And one of my favorite quotes from this team call, and Courtney, you probably heard it too a couple times in there, is if you don't like it, change it. And if you can't change it, change the way you think about it. And that hit me so hard. I listened to this team call like 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to lie. I was like, this call is speaking to me. I need to be taking some more ownership. I listened to this call so many times, seriously, because there's things in my life right now that I'm not happy with, that I can't necessarily change on my own, but I can change the way I think about it, and I can change what I'm doing now to hopefully make that change later down the road. And so whether that is reevaluating your goal board, your vision board, and getting really, really specific to those actions you need to take, then do it. But don't just sit there and complain about it if you're not willing to put in the work to change it. And that hit me hard, guys, because I can make a lot of excuses and have a lot of pity parties for myself. So I think that's something we all need to hear.
For sure. Any questions for us?
Anybody? Did everybody take a lot of notes? Because I swore I took like 9 pages of notes and going back. Yeah, I see you, Kristen.
The Google Drive is like full of
Yay! It was seriously a really good training. I'm glad that Courtney shared that with me.
Yeah. Yep. Well, go out there, be consistent, you guys. Like breathe the belief in everyone you meet, everyone you see. Like believe, you have to truly believe that this business can change lives, physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, like all of the above. And yeah, just go out there and believe it.
I agree with Courtney. If there's like one thing, if you did not take any notes from this team call, if there's one thing you're going to take away from it, it's simply believing in yourself, because that's the one thing that makes leaders stand out from everybody else. Belief in themselves.
For sure. All right, guys. Well, we will jump off here. We only have a couple minutes left anyway, so I will send Court the recording. I'll post it on our team page, and so anyone can watch it back. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find us.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
See ya.